Flipping back to our Excel workbook, let's work together here to set up a basic financial analysis. In the top left corner, I'm going to put the units. For example, let's start with USD in thousands. It's helpful to have this in the top corner so that anyone who looks at the model immediately knows what type of units we're dealing with here. I'm going to give a couple columns of space because we're going to be putting financial metric names across some of these rows. And so I'm going to start in column D here and type the first year of historical data that we're going to input. Let's say that we're going to start with 2014. To the right of that, I'm going to type, I can use the plus sign to quickly start a formula. Instead of typing equals, which is a little bit harder to reach, if you're using the number keypad on the right, you can just press the plus sign and select 2014 and then press +1. So now here we've got, and I'm pressing F2 here to see the formula. We've got the previous year +1. I'm going to hold down Shift and press the right arrow and then Control R to fill that right. So just to do that one more time here quickly, type in 2014. To the right of it, press plus, left arrow, +1, enter to get 2015. Hold the Shift key and press the right arrow to select the cells to the right and press Control R. This will fill right. So now what we've got here is 2 years of historical data and 5 years of forecast data. What I want to do is label this so that it's easy to understand what's going on here. So I'm going to select, holding down the Shift key and the right arrow, I'm going to select 2014 and 2015, which are the historical periods. I press Control 1 to access the formatting area. And under the number tab here, I'm going to select a custom type of number. What I want to do here is type, I'm going to put a 0 to indicate that it's a regular number, but at the end of the number I want to put an A, a letter A for actual. This is common convention in finance. Then click OK. So as you'll see here, we've got 2014 and 2015 formatted with an A at the end, so I know that those are historical actual numbers, but they're still treated as numbers in Excel. Then I'm going to select, holding down Control, Shift, and right arrow, the forecast period to the right. By pressing Control 1, I can access Format Cells, go to Custom once again, and this time I'm going to put, in quotes, a capital E at the end to indicate that it's an estimate. And then I'm going to press OK. So now what I've got here is 2 years of actual historical, 5 years of forecasted estimate, and it's very easy to see that these are historical and these are simply estimates. So we've got our numbers in place. What I next want to do here is I want to frame this piece of analysis. I really like to frame things up so they're easy to see. Holding down the Shift key and the right arrow, I can select this entire area. What I want to do is put a bold, dark background behind it and change the lettering to be white. So to do that, I'm going to, practicing my shortcuts here, I'm going to press Alt, H for the home screen, and H for the background color. Using the arrow keys, I can move across here and select something that I think looks good. I'm going to go with this very dark blue here. It's almost bordering on black. And then I'm going to press Enter. Now obviously I can't see the font very well, so the next thing I'm going to do is press Alt H and FC for font color, and I want to make it white. I think this really pops the header out, and in fact what I might do next is selecting the years, press Control B to bold them. Taking this one step further, I'm going to press Control 1 again so that I get into the type of number that it is. select font, and I'm going to make it size 14. I think this really makes the numbers pop out at the top, and I can quickly see wherever I am in this sheet what year we're in. Now you'll notice that these cells are starting to look a little bit crowded. So let's hold down the Shift key and the right arrow, and then press Control Spacebar. Control Spacebar helps us automatically select the columns. Because what I want to do here is actually adjust the column width. And in order to do that, I'm gonna press Alt, and then H for Home, and O for Format, and W for column width. So the default is set here, but I'm gonna increase this to 12 and press Enter. I think now that gives us a nice column width where we can easily fit several numbers in this cell. The next thing that I'm going to do is that you'll notice there's a dotted line that's appeared here. That means if I were to print this page on the current settings, I would actually miss 2 of these columns. So what we should do here is using our shortcuts again, press Alt, P for page layout, and O for orientation. So I'm actually going to change this to be a landscape. I think landscape works better for financial models, typically when there's several years that are going out to the right. So now we have it all fitting in one page. We've got several spaces and we've got some quite bold headings here. But you'll notice now, if I start to scroll down, I quickly can't tell what year it is that I'm referencing if I'm in a cell down here. This can become quite challenging when a model gets big, as you always want to know what year you're referencing. So what I recommend doing is putting your cursor at the leftmost cell in row 2. And what we're going to do here is freeze panes. In order to freeze the pane, I'm going to press Alt. I'm going to press W for View, and then F for freeze panes, and F one more time to freeze panes. So now if I scroll down, you'll notice that I can always see what year is across the top. I think this is really important for setting up a good piece of financial analysis. It'll make your life a lot easier. The next thing that I'm going to do is create a category heading here. So I'm going to create an income statement and press Enter. I'm going to bold it by pressing Control B. And let's just quickly enter a very basic income statement here. We're going to input revenue, cost of goods sold, which will give us gross profit, and then we're going to deduct our SG&A expenses, which will allow us to arrive at EBITDA. We'll then deduct depreciation and interest, which will give us earnings before tax. We'll then calculate our taxes, and finally our net income. So this is going to be our simplified income statement here over on the left.